'Twas a cold winter's night, and without any heat, I wore Bombas socks so they'd warm up my feet. Yay, my feet cried, these socks are the best. So cushy and warm I can finally rest. But don't rest, I said, there's more if you please. Bombas also makes underwear, slippers, and tees. And for each thing you purchase, they donate one new to someone who needs it so they're cozy too. Everybody deserves to feel good all the time, so gift Bombas this season. That's the end of this rhyme. Go to bombas.com/audio and use code AUDIO for 20% off your first purchase.
Grief doesn't keep a calendar. Anxiety doesn't clock out after 5. Depression doesn't care if it's your busy season. But support can still fit into your life. With Grow, you can find a therapist who meets you where you are. They connect you with thousands of independent licensed therapists across the U.S., offering both virtual and in-person sessions. You can search by insurance, provider specialty, treatment methods, and more to find a therapist who works for you. And if it's not the right fit, switching is easy. There are no subscriptions, no long-term commitments. You just pay per session. Find therapy on your time. Evenings, weekends, and cancel up to 24 hours in advance at no cost. Whatever challenges you're facing, Grow Therapy is here to help. Sessions average about $21 with insurance, and some pay as little as $0 depending on their plan. Visit growtherapy.com/ACAST today to get started. That's growtherapy.com/ACAST. growtherapy.com/ACAST. Availability and coverage vary by state and insurance plan.
At Lowe's, before the holidays is the perfect time for upgrades and upkeep. During Black Friday, get up to 50% off select major appliances and buy more to save more with up to an additional 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. Plus, grab select DeWalt 20-volt max drill or impact driver kits for just $99. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 12/3. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Doors closing.
You look like someone who just lost a fight with a Gorn captain.
Close. My upstairs neighbor was vacuuming at 3 in the morning. 3! Who vacuums at that hour?
Someone trying to cover up a murder or, really hates crumbs.
Guys, if anyone is missing a live ferret, it is now in my backpack. I repeat, I have your ferret. Also, if anyone has ferret food, please meet me in the next car.
What sort of food does a ferret eat?
I had a friend in high school who had a pet ferret. He fed it table scraps.
How did that work out?
He died of extreme obesity at the age of 2.5.
The ferret has been reunited with his owner. Now, has anyone seen my pet camel spider?
Did he just say camel spider?
I was just going to act like I didn't hear that.
Cicero is next. Doors open on the left. Cicero.
This is Tales from the Blue Line by Auditory Anthology.
Only on the Blue Line.
At least it wasn't in your upstairs neighbor's vacuum.
All right, that actually helps because the story I've got for you today is about a janitor who always seems to show up at the weirdest times. Like he was mopping up cosmic crumbs or something.
Cosmic custodian, I'm listening.
Every hospital had its legends, and on Allie's floor, the night staff liked to whisper about the janitor who never seemed to be on the schedule. He appeared only in the midnight shift, pushing a mop bucket that squeaked so loudly it could be heard before he was ever seen. Nobody could remember when he had started working there. Some said he'd been around since the hospital was built. Others swore they only saw him during their worst nights, right when things hit the fan. He was a funny sight, too. The man wore an old custodial uniform with shiny brass buttons, like something pulled straight out of the 1970s supply closet. His shoes squeaked like a cartoon character, his belt jingled with too many keys, and he always smelled faintly of floor polish and peppermint gum. But what made him legendary wasn't his appearance, it was his timing. The janitor had a knack for arriving exactly when chaos erupted. A patient knocked over a tray of water cups. There he was, mop at the ready. The coffee pot boiled over in the break room. Suddenly, he was beside it, already wiping down the counter. A frantic family member burst into tears at the nurse's station. He appeared with a perfectly folded box of tissues, as if he had known it would happen. No one ever saw him walk in. He just materialized, like he'd been waiting off stage for his cue. By the end of her first week, Allie cornered her supervisor at the nurse's station. "Hey," she asked, lowering her voice, "who's the janitor with the squeaky shoes? The one who just shows up?" Her supervisor frowned. "Janitor?" She shook her head. "Allie, we don't have anyone on staff like that during nights." Allie blinked. "You're kidding." The supervisor smirked, already turning back to her charting. "Welcome to the night shift. You'll see plenty of things we can't explain." Allie quickly learned that the janitor didn't just clean up messes. He solved problems in ways that no training manual could ever explain. When a patient grew agitated and started shouting, the janitor appeared from nowhere, pulled a balloon from his pocket, and twisted it into the shape of a dog. The patient blinked at it, mid-rant, then burst into laughter. The whole floor relaxed as if a switch had been flipped. Another night, an IV stand began to wobble and tip dangerously close to a patient's bed. Nurses scrambled for tools, but the janitor simply smacked the pole twice with his mop handle. It straightened immediately, standing firm like it had never been broken. "There you go," he muttered, already moving on. There was the infamous coffee machine incident, too. The pot sputtered, hissed, and spewed grounds like volcanic ash. Before anyone could panic, the janitor calmly unplugged it, turned it upside down, gave it a few sharp shakes, then set it back in place. The machine whirred to life, brewing better coffee than it ever had before. One night in the break room, after the janitor had left as mysteriously as he'd arrived, the nurses couldn't help but laugh about him. "All right," Janine said, sipping her coffee. "Tell me that guy isn't some kind of ghost. He's here one second, gone the next. No way he clocks in like the rest of us." "Not a ghost," Terry argued, shaking his head. "He's like a guardian spirit, only instead of guarding souls, he guards against sticky floors and broken IV poles." Another nurse chimed in, grinning. "Yeah, maybe he took a wrong turn at afterlife orientation. Congratulations, you've been assigned to eternal janitorial duty." The room erupted in laughter. "Honestly," Allie added, "if he is a spirit, I'm keeping him. He fixes more problems than half the actual staff." As the weeks went on, the janitor's legend only grew. Nurses began treating him like a living urban myth, half helpful coworker, half ghost story. Some decided to test him. One night someone accidentally spilled a soda in the hallway and walked away, timing how long it would take for him to show up. Less than 2 minutes later, the familiar squeak of shoes echoed around the corner. The janitor appeared, mop already dripping, and sighed as if he'd been expecting it. "You people really think I don't notice," he muttered, shaking his head. Another time they jammed a printer on purpose. Sure enough, he arrived, tugged out a single sheet of paper with one hand, slapped the side of the machine with the other, and left without saying a word. The printer hummed back to life like nothing had happened. Then came the note. One morning, tapped to the break room fridge, the staff found a sticky note in tidy block letters. "Nice try with the yogurt test. Also, stop stealing each other's snacks." The nurses howled with laughter. Even Allie couldn't help but admit it. Whoever or whatever this janitor was, he had a sense of humor. From then on, the staff started referring to him as the Mop Whisperer, or sometimes Saint Squeegee. And whenever something went wrong in the hospital, the first question was always the same. Where's the janitor? The night the janitor vanished started like any other. Chaotic. Monitors beeped, alarms shrieked, and 2 call lights blinked at once. A patient spilled a pitcher of water in the hallway. The coffee machine erupted in another fit of sputtering grounds, and the phones at the nurse's station wouldn't stop ringing. It was the kind of night tailor-made for the janitor. Everyone kept glancing toward the end of the hall, waiting for the familiar squeak of his shoes and the rhythmic slosh of his mop bucket. But he never came. Instead, when the storm finally settled, they found signs he had already been there. The water in the hallway was gone, the coffee machine wiped clean, the equipment that had gone haywire neatly lined up along the wall. Everything was in order, but no one had seen him do it. On the door to the supply closet hung a single sheet of paper written in the same tidy block letters as the sticky note on the fridge. "Retired. Good luck with the crumbs." Signed, the janitor. The nurses burst out laughing, though more than a few admitted they felt oddly disappointed. From then on, whenever the floor got busy, someone would joke, if only the janitor were still around. And every so often, Allie swore she heard the faint squeak of shoes echoing down the hall just beyond sight.
Thank you for calling the Bombas Comfort Line. Bombas make socks, slippers, tees, and underwear made with the highest quality materials. Press 1 for comfort, 2 for style, 3 for donation. You chose style. Bombas has styles for whatever you enjoy. You can run in Bombas, lounge in Bombas, dress them up, dress them down, but always give back in Bombas. Because with every item purchased, another is donated. Bombas, comfort worth calling for. Go to bombas.com/audio and use code AUDIO for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com and use code AUDIO.
Grief doesn't keep a calendar. Anxiety doesn't clock out after 5. Depression doesn't care if it's your busy season. But support can still fit into your life. With Grow, you can find a therapist who meets you where you are. They connect you with thousands of independent licensed therapists across the U.S., offering both virtual and in-person sessions. You can search by insurance, provider specialty, treatment methods, and more to find a therapist who works for you. And if it's not the right fit, switching is easy. There are no subscriptions, no long-term commitments. You just pay per session. Find therapy on your time. Evenings, weekends, and cancel up to 24 hours in advance at no cost. Whatever challenges you're facing, Grow Therapy is here to help. Sessions average about $21 with insurance, and some pay as little as $0 depending on their plan. Visit growtherapy.com/ACAST today to get started. That's growtherapy.com/ACAST. growtherapy.com/ACAST. Availability and coverage vary by state and insurance plan.
And that's how he left us. A note on the supply closet that just said, "Retired. Good luck with the crumbs."
That's perfect. I always wanted to leave my job in a creative way like that. My dream is actually to get a singing telegram.
Your note would say something like, "Retired, don't forget to label your lunch."
Fair, but you have to admit, if he was a ghost, he was the most practical ghost ever. No chains, no moaning, just squeaky shoes and industrial strength floor polish.
Honestly, I'd take that over most coworkers.
You think he's out there somewhere, wandering hospital halls, eternally fighting the battle against spills and sticky floors?
If he is, I hope he brought extra mop heads.
Hey, if he shows up in your shift again, tell him I've got a printer that needs exercising. Tales from the Blue Line by Auditory Anthology is written and produced by me, Keith Conrad. Your narrator is Darren Marlar. Be sure to check out Darren's award-winning paranormal podcast, Weird Darkness, available at weirddarkness.com and your podcast app of choice. If you have a story you'd like to contribute to this series, you can do so by visiting submissions.soundconceptmedia.com or just follow the link in the show notes. You can also support the show by subscribing to our new Substack at auditoryanthology.substack.com. By becoming a paid subscriber, you'll help keep the stories coming. You'll also get every single episode completely commercial-free, and now you can also vote on which story will feature in upcoming episodes.
You know you've reached peak couple energy when your undies match. MeUndies Match Me has you both covered, literally, in super soft ultramodal undies, socks, PJs, and loungewear. Festive prints? Check. Cozy vibes? Double check. And right now, it's deal season. Get up to 50% off site-wide for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Take your couple game to the next level with MeUndies Match Me. To get deals up to 50% off, go to MeUndies.com/ACAST. Enter promo code ACAST. That's MeUndies.com/ACAST. Code ACAST.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with a Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.